Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Color X Malice along Takeru Sasazuka's route. Alright, so we left off on this choice, and we're supposed to pass through, but I don't want to go to the park because I have the feeling that a bad ending awaits us there, and we'll get killed by one of the Adonis pawns. For some reason, I decided to stop by the park. The old and rusted playground equipment seemed sad. I thought about riding the swings, but then I spotted a silhouette at the corner of the bench. A young girl. What is she doing out at this hour? This is one of the twins, isn't it? If she's a minor, maybe she ran away from home. I couldn't just let her sit out here all alone, so I approached her. Or is it Hana? Oh yeah, it's the twin. Oh, sorry for surprising you. Are you out this late because something's wrong? I tried to calm her down due to her hostility. I crouched down to drop to her line of sight. She looked to be about high school age. Do you live close by? Your parents are probably worried about you.
Huh?
Huh?
What the hell did you say?
Huh? Her meek way of speaking suddenly became very hostile. But it wasn't just her speech. She's got a crazy look on her face, too.
Go home? To my parents? You speak like it's normal to have something like that. What's that you call it? An average life? I envy your carefree attitude. I'm sure you must have a privileged life.
Maybe she doesn't have parents. I'm sorry, that was insensitive of me, but it's really quite dangerous to be walking around here at this hour.
Oh, dangerous? You're right about that. It is dangerous, miss.
Huh?
It's dangerous to come talking to someone like me.
With mind-bending speed, she extended her hands and grabbed my collar. And then she started to strangle me.
Does it hurt? Does it? But it's your fault.
No way! I can't shake her off! Her thin arms belied her strength. I clawed at her hands, but to no avail. Let me go.
Everyone has a home to go back to. Everyone has a family welcoming them. You never once thought about people who don't have the things you take for granted.
I'm a police officer. If you want to talk, I'll listen.
Huh?
You made it even worse. I managed to wring out that cry, but that did not result in her loosening her grip. Rather, she's actually tightening it. Oh, Ichika, haven't you noticed that cops aren't exactly welcome in Shinjuku? At this rate, I'll be killed. What are you doing? I was prepared for death when I heard that voice. In my fading consciousness, I opened my eyes and saw a boy who's about the same age as the girl who was attacking me. The moment she saw him, she quickly loosened her grip around my neck. You're doing this again? Stop it! The chokehold was released, and I inhaled deeply, trying to sate my body's need for oxygen. Did I survive? What happened? Why did you come out here alone again?
She's trash.
Huh?
She's a cop. She's here to kill us.
Huh? With my consciousness starting to stabilize, I looked up at the two of them while on the ground. I saw two pairs of eyes that were darker than the abyss. Oh, then you couldn't help it. But he doesn't even look angry. Who are you? Before I could grasp the situation, another sudden event occurred. I wasn't able to speak or even fully form a thought. My vision turned red. Only those dark eyes that had given up on the world looked down at me emotionlessly. Which one of them even shot me? The end. I like these ending screens that we get with the pawns. They look pretty cool. Yeah, once I finish Sasazuka's route, I'm going to go after all those endings. Would you all like me to record those endings if I can find them all? Let me know, Because like I said, this walkthrough that I'm following isn't really conducive to getting those endings, so I'm not sure if I'm going to take the time to do it or not. I've been pushing so hard with this recording that it's like, you know, trying to get the series done so I can vacation and move on with my life. I'm going to be pretty tired when I finally finish Sasazuka's route. Alright, so back onto the route and choosing the correct thing to pass through. I need to go home. I shook off the slight feeling of nostalgia and started on my way home. As I arrived at the apartment, I happened to cross paths with Kazuki, who was apparently just on his way out. I arched my brows and glared at Kazuki. That's right, you're not the only one that can glare. And where are you going at this time? Wow, she's a lot more assertive with him in this route. I'm heading over to Akito's place again. You're staying over 2 nights in a row during the week? That's going to burden his family a lot. And where's your uniform? Are you trying to skip school on top of that? Then Kazuki shot me a fed-up look. School's off because of the murders. Akito's parents are at work, so it's fine, okay? But even so... You said you were off tomorrow. If I had to spend all day with you, I'll go crazy. Kazuki! Just leave me alone, alright? Stop playing big sister whenever it's convenient. Hey, Kazuki! What? I reacted by reaching out my hand at him, but he brushed to the side and ran off. Convenient for me? I wondered why our relationship had deteriorated to this state. I'm just worried. It's because he's hanging out with the wrong people. He's got a friend in Adonis. After I stood in that spot for a while, I let out a deep sigh. December 9th, 10:35. Yeah, that's definitely the wrong name. That definitely has to be Kei saying that, not me. Oh, it's Ichika. Hello. After I arrived at the front of the agency, Okazaki called out to me, and I greeted him while keeping my guard up. Okazaki, you look like you're working hard. I see you're off today. Are you here to consult about your request again? Something like that. And you, Okazaki, guard duty must be tough in this cold. Not that tough, he never actually fully puts his jacket on. Our conversation gave me mild chills. We both knew why each of us was really here. Right now, I'm just waiting for my subordinate to get back here and deliver me some breakfast. Yoshinori's in this route? He swears milk and anpan is stakeout food. Seems like he's watched too many dramas, right? What? You're the one who said that's all you could think about eating. A man with a convenience store bag seemed to be protesting Okazaki's description of events. I assumed this was a subordinate. That's really weird that, the order in which I played the routes, it turns out that Yoshinori was not in Mineo's or Shiraishi's routes, which were the ones I played first. Why wasn't he in those routes? It just makes more sense for him to be here, because, Kei can't watch them 24/7. And big puppy dog needs little puppy dog. I assumed this was his subordinate. Yoshinori, lying is bad. Hidaiki, Yoshinori, 24. And cute as a button. Is this person... Hi, I'm Hideaki Yoshinori. I guess you could say I'm Okazaki's gopher. Hello? I noticed that he was also wearing an SP badge. Not one, but 2 SPs were keeping watch on the agency. That's pretty heavy scrutiny. Yoshinori, constantly making me look bad in front of her. But it's the truth. You even specifically told me which brand of anpan you wanted me to buy. How does that make him look bad? Why should I care if he wants to eat anpan on a stakeout? Shut up. Ow! Sorry, Ichika-chan. Don't pay attention to anything this guy said, and please go in. I ignored the cries of subordinate-kun, who was still reacting to Okazaki pounding his head, and Okazaki extended his arm to escort me. I really don't understand this person. Alright, if you'll excuse me. I knew I had to keep my distance, but I also didn't think that I hated them. Yeah, no need for that. They're harmless, pretty much. Good morning. Where's Sasazuka?
How should I know?
What?
Enomoto.
Only Yanagi and Enomoto were in the agency. Yanagi looked appalled, and Enomoto sullen. Did you guys have a fight bad enough to make him run out? What's wrong?
There was a bit of an argument earlier. Sasazuka's on the rooftop.
I've never seen Sasazuka on the roof.
Little? You call that little? You heard all the abuse he shouted at me, Yanagi. That's because you decided to mess with him. Sorry, just let this guy stew for a bit and go to see Sasazuka.
Sorry. Well, Yanagi's not worried, he was just smiling. Enomoto was completely sulking and wouldn't even try to look this way. Yanagi sent me on my way with an uncomfortable smile, and I headed toward the rooftop. Oh, there he is. Sasazuka was sitting on the rooftop, clad in a coat, and working on his laptop in this chilly weather. Oh, actually working out here. Sasazuka.
Wait a bit.
Maybe he was trying to reach a good stopping point, but Sasazuka glanced at me for a nanosecond and returned to his screen. I don't really mind waiting, but isn't Sasazuka cold out here? He's a man, he can take it. I continued to wait patiently as I listened to the sound of his nimble fingers tap the keys and as I rubbed my hands together to keep warm. This is rude, keeping me out here in the cold.
So?
After a while, he apparently found a good stopping point and finally turned around. It's about the test? Why is there a question mark on the end of that?
Obviously. Why else would you be here? Just hurry up and give me your answer.
Sasazuka wanted the facts up front. I still wasn't used to his direct style, but I thought I could adapt to it gradually. As I thought, I took a short breath and responded, I think it's a substitute killing.
Really?
Sasazuka's mouth formed a smile.
And what makes you think that?
Commonalities kept arising. The August case and the recent shootings are both tied to online games. The July case and the arson murders are linked by a common thread of stalking. Why do you look so self-satisfied? Furthermore, the person of interest spotted in yesterday was a previous suspect, but he was released because of his alibi. But he didn't have an alibi this time. They had to have a reason to pull suspects from the past cases, though. I checked to see Sasazuka's reaction thus far. He nodded at me to keep going.
Continue.
Normally, with cases this similar, you'd hunt for one suspect who committed all the crimes. But if their alibi still holds for one case, they can't have committed all the crimes. However, because these are X-Day incidents, I didn't initially realize that they are all being done by the same culprit. These cases do have a single party who has motive, and that is Adonis. These crimes are all performed by one organization. If the crimes are plotted on an organizational level, you can still commit the crimes you want while shielding your likely suspects. So that's why I think that what we're seeing is the result of Adonis carrying out substitution murders. What, did I miss something? I held my breath and waited for a response.
I see.
He gave me a bemused response.
I wasn't really expecting much, because an idiot's an idiot, but it seems you're a useful idiot. 75 points.
So I get a C? Huh?
You have the fundamentals, but can't finish. Your logic still has holes.
Maybe you didn't let me finish talking.
But I still have to give you points for a dumb cat who can think hard.
Sasazuka grinned. I relaxed and felt all the tension in my body release, and I nearly crumbled. Relief, accomplishment, joy, and a little bit of another certain feeling. I breathed in, and then I found the energy to say the words I'd longed to say. Stop calling me an idiot all the time!
Oh?
I thought hard to figure this out. I've never investigated before, so I didn't know what I was doing, but even still, I wanted to complete this task no matter what. I wanted to be recognized. I know I'm not the best. I know I fall short. But I gave it my all. And I did it. So, give me credit and stop calling me an idiot. Now he's just annoyed again. I was finally able to let it out. Feeling half exhilarated and half scared, I was completely unprepared for the words that Sasazuka said next.
What are you so pissed about? I was praising you.
How is that praise?
I said you were useful.
No, you didn't. You said I was a useful idiot. You can't just ignore the idiot part of that.
You're being overly sensitive.
It's how he shows his love by calling people idiot. Can't you tell just how much he loves Mineo? Because this is important to me.
Shut up, dumb cat. Don't start getting cocky.
There you go again.
You know you're dumber than me. Why are you mad?
What the hell? This deplorable man was just bursting with pompousness, arrogance, and rudeness. I wondered how long it would take for him to truly acknowledge me. Oh, he already does. Like I said, calling you an idiot is it's a term of endearment. Like when Okita tells people he's gonna kill them. Don't do this, or I'll kill you. That means, I love you, dear, when Okita says it. Still, he's very skilled, and I can really use him as an ally right now. That's how I ultimately felt about it. Sasazuka exhaled slightly and looked at me again and spoke.
A pass is a pass. You did meet the minimum requirements, and I can't deny that.
What a relief. Why are you laughing?
I saw your tail wagging.
Huh?
You might be more of a dog than a cat. You're so easy to read.
Maybe I should go join the boys downstairs.
Congratulations, dumb dog.
Dog? Look, you're really being rude. I like playing with the puppy dogs better anyway. As I started to protest. Huh? It's a good one too, isn't it? Sasazuka cut off my protest by extending a donut toward me. He looked so reluctant.
Here you go.
I was taken by surprise for a second, but then I quickly saw his true intentions. Is this supposed to be my chow?
It's a reward, a treat.
Oh, so you are treating me like a dog.
Be quiet. Just shut up and eat it. I don't just give donuts out to anybody you know. In fact, you should feel honored.
He insisted, and so I eventually relented and begrudgingly accepted his donut. You should be honored. It's sweet. After I took a bite of the donut, its sweetness entangled my tongue. Whether or not he was treating me like a dog, I started to reluctantly accept it. He sort of recognized me after all. Now I could finally pursue the case as Sasazuka's partner.
What's with that dumb look on your face, idiot?
Hugu? Why did I say Hugu? His rudely shocking words made me choke. As I sputtered and coughed, Sasazuka grinned at me and said,
For the record, I don't view you as a partner yet. A pawn that captures pieces is useful, but it's still just a pawn until it gets promoted. Never forget that.
What?
It'll be a hassle for me if you got big-headed, for just passing a very basic test that just tells us what we here can easily deduce. But if you continue to prove yourself, I'll at least give you a reward. Just work hard, Poochie.
Obviously pleased with himself over his demeaning put-down, I had to lash out. I'm telling you to stop treating me like a dog. I bit into the donut while thinking about what a truly vile person he was, and Sasazuka closed his laptop and stood up.
If we're finished, then let's go downstairs. We'll have a debriefing session with the guys.
Okay.
Bring that computer with you.
What? I'm lugging your equipment now? I'm a woman. You're supposed to carry the heavy stuff. He picked up the bag of donuts, took one out and bit into it. You must really like sweet things. Perhaps he saw on my face that I thought the aspect was cute. Sasazuka glowered at me.
So what if I like them?
He harumphed through his nostrils and quickly left the rooftop. Hold on! I had no idea why he got so chuffed by that utterly tame comment. I cleaned the table and chased up after him with the computer. Jeez, what a thin-skinned, pompous ass. Yeah, really, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. Still, it felt pretty good to be able to say that I'd taken my first step. The real investigation begins now. As the cold air brushed against my cheeks, and with the overflowing motivation and drive, I opened the door to downstairs. And now we're into Chapter 2. Guys, I'm part of the team! December 9th, 11:43. Shiraishi, what are you doing here?
Welcome back, you two.
Huh? Shiraishi? I was immediately welcomed by Shiraishi, who gently waved at me. I surveyed the room and I noticed that Enomoto didn't seem to be there anymore.
Enomoto would rather not meet with Sasazuka now. Shiraishi had just arrived earlier. So stupid. That's why that idiot Mineo is so useless. You provoke him, so it's your fault too. If I don't do that, then he won't do anything.
Huh?
It's fine, don't worry about it. Anyways, so you reconciled with Sasazuka?
Reconciled? I didn't realize that I'd been fighting with him, and Sasazuka quickly interjected.
She's going to be working with me. She passed the test for now. I see.
He smiled and congratulated me, and I meekly nodded.
What's that sheepish look for, idiot?
I don't look like that.
Shut up and focus. The real deal starts now. Get your head in the game.
Sasazuka threw his jacket toward the desk and looked over at Yanagi and Shiraishi.
Anyways, we need to get her up to speed, so let's recap our current situation. That sounds good. I'd like to organize a bit too. Yes, go ahead. I'll just watch over with care.
In case they forget anything? Shiraishi was being his usual laissez-faire self. I still couldn't tell if he actually cared about what goes on here or not.
She's at the point where she's figured out the past incidents or substitute murders. And that's where the problem begins. Hey.
Yes?
Do you remember how I told you that you got 75 points earlier?
Yes?
Myself, Yanagi, and Shiraishi are already a step beyond that. It's a good opportunity for you to train, so why don't you figure out your missing 25 points now?
He just came right out and suggested it so naturally, but my body instantly tensed up. But I couldn't retreat now. This was probably another phase of Sasazuka's test. Alright. After I nodded, Sasazuka laughed and displayed a look that was so obviously malicious, I even saw the evil intent from profile view.
Do your best. It'd suck for you if we split up after an hour. Cool it, Sasazuka. So, where should we start? Start at the beginning of the beginning. Sasazuka, did you already discuss the motive? No. Right, we're starting all the way back there. So, I'll go through the beginning part.
Yanagi threw me a lifesaver, as Sasazuka made his annoyance apparent.
Hoshino, are the deals of the X-Day cases clear in your head? If you need any explanation, just tell me.
As he asked me, I have to say, can I take a moment? I wonder if that really matters. I vaguely remember, but if it's possible, I'd like some time to look over the information.
Well then, while you're doing that, I'll begin explaining the incidents in order, from April.
Please.
First are the police abductions and murder. In April and May, police officers from Shinjuku who had prior misconducts were kidnapped. Of the 4 cops kidnapped, 1 was killed. The other 3 are still missing. Their bloodstains were found at the scene. The June incident was the middle school explosion. During a science experiment, all the students at the school were killed in a sudden explosion. It seemed like an accident at first glance, but in actuality, it was determined to be an intentional crime. Furthermore, the targeted class had a student commit suicide in the past. Initially, her surviving family was suspected. The stalker murder by grievous bodily injury is a bit complicated. It's supposedly a justified self-defense killing by a good Samaritan who just happened to see a woman attacked by a stalker. But this man had been falsely arrested for a crime in the past. Furthermore, the one who made false said arrest was one of the police victims in May. Smells fishy to me. I'm sure you know at least a little something about the online gamer serial killings from August.
Yes.
The victims all played the same online game, and were in the Shinjuku Guild.
It was supposedly due to cyberbullying, but the number of victims made filtering suspects tough.
Although it seems that problem's been solved now that they found a person of interest. We can skip September and November, right? They don't seem to be too related to the topic.
Sure.
Well then, the main issue begins here.
I swallowed my breath after Shiraishi's words.
You reached your conclusion that these were proxy murders because of the common aspects of motive between the incidents, right?
Yes. The July case and the December 8th case, they both involved a stalker. The August case and the December 7th case, both of them involved online bullying. Without these common aspects, I wouldn't have ever considered the possibility of a substitution murder.
But we found a different point of similarity between all the X-Day incidents.
Which is? Isn't that what I'm supposed to tell them?
The culprit's motive. Adonis's declaration of terrorism is that they are supposedly going to spur a revival of Japan through these killings. But the individual killings themselves should also provide us with a reason as to why these specific individuals were targeted.
A series of killings should have a motive. In regards to the July and August cases, the motives were easier to see because of the incidents that occurred afterward. But if this common aspect included all the other cases as well, then I mulled it over and came up with revenge. Perhaps it's revenge?
And the reason you say that is
because the victims in each case were all thought to have grudges held against them by someone. In the case of the police abductions and murder, innocent people were unfairly given a bad reputation due to the false arrest. I believe the other cases are similar as well. Sasazuka laughed blithely.
You passed. It'd have been a pain if you didn't.
Needless to say, I was pretty relieved to hear those words.
Adonis refers to all their murders as judgments. In fact, all of the X-Day incidents stem from crimes that the police were unable to address.
I see. The police need definitive evidence of a crime in order to act. Bullying and stalking were tough to prove. When the police did respond, they usually had to take a wait and see approach. Although it was frustrating for the aggrieved, rushing to judgment would just generate many more false arrests, like the May incident.
The police wouldn't do anything to help, so exact vengeance with their own hands. It's a rather simple concept. Simple, yet completely unacceptable. Besides, we should be focusing on something else.
What's that?
Their recent actions have been quite erratic. Until November, there were many suspects, but every single person had a perfect alibi, and the investigation would completely stop.
Yeah, because they're substitution murders. Sasazuka sighed upon hearing my response.
How'd you come to that conclusion? Because the recent killings are tied to the others?
Yes.
The proxy murder theory popped up many times in our past investigations, but we could never prove our conclusions. Then, thanks to the recent incidents, our theories are now coincidentally validated. We're saying that it's far too easy now. In fact, you could say they've been downright sloppy. Agreed. It's true any way you slice it. Before, their crimes were carefully plotted.
Does that mean... I just blurted out what popped into my head. They're... trying to be found. Is someone beside Adonis trying to get discovered on purpose?
I wouldn't say that's an impossibility, but what merit would that course of action have?
You're right. As I thought harder, Shiraishi stared back at me. Is something...
The merit could be right here.
Huh? Then Yanagi and Sasazuka appeared to have eureka moments while looking at me. To be precise, at my neck.
You who question the form of righteousness that the police cling to would surely find our concept of justice more agreeable. Of course, we do not expect you to be persuaded by mere words. So please, try to grasp the truth of the X Day incidents. Discover our true intentions. You have until midnight on January 1st. We'll be watching you via Ichika Hoshino.
The person who collared Hoshino is trying to get us all to pursue the X Day incidents. They're expecting something if we do. They even referred to Hoshino as one of our sympathizers. But that I really don't understand. Honestly, what are they thinking? Well, thinking about what Adonis is thinking isn't going to generate any real answers right now. But suppose their intentions are intended to give us hints. For Adonis, the suspects of the July case would be of no more value than a disposable pawn.
Oh, Shirashi was saying something about that. That they were just sacrificial pawns.
Well, yeah, it's an obvious way to look at it.
That's true, but I wasn't exactly satisfied with his answer, because when Shirashi talked about the cases, he sounded remarkably detached from them. Honestly, it looked like he didn't care about things unless there was something he was interested in. But shouldn't this interest him? Although maybe I just felt that way because I was really starting to get into solving this incident now.
Hey.
Huh? I looked up, and Sasazuka was handing something to me. Is it another reward donut? I played along and stretched out my hand, and I received a chocolate wrapped in gold foil. Huh? What's this?
You were able to keep up with everything up to this point.
Are you trying to feed me again?
I'm saying that it's a reward. Anyway, just be thankful and accept it.
Jeez. I fumed slightly while accepting his gift. It probably wasn't very convincing, because Yanagi and Shiraishi began laughing. What is it?
I just thought it was a heartwarming scene. Yeah, I'm glad it seems like you'll be fine.
I had very, very mixed feelings about this.
Unfortunately, we're kind of at loggerheads right now.
I have never heard that expression before. What? But it's like you said, they brought in someone for the 7th case, so the 8th is only a matter of time.
Yeah, but then what about afterwards?
Afterwards?
We don't know if they're just going to keep sacrificing people like this or not, or if something will change on Adonis' side. Hell, they're probably listening now. We're completely wrapped around their fingers.
I reflexively put my hand on my neck. When I was first collared, I couldn't help but think about every little action I took, but recently I'd forgotten that it was on. Apparently I was getting used to having this thing on. I need to stay vigilant, I tell myself.
It's likely they're combing through all the subjects for all the cases at the headquarters right now. Sasazuka, I can remember the suspects before we resigned up to a point, but I have data on all the suspects until September. The issue is narrowing them down.
Isn't Investigations HQ having the same problem? I instinctively glanced at Shiraishi. He was the only one here who worked in Investigations headquarters.
I tried interviewing the person of interest, but they've just gone completely silent. Fortunately, they self-destructed, so we're able to keep them in custody for a different arrest.
Self-destructed, huh? Self-destructed?
Yup, they were obstructing justice and damaging property. And that guy's name is Manabu Soda. He's 20 years old and unemployed.
Kinda reminds me of Demento. I'd witnessed him taken into custody, and while we were there, he seemed to have been resisting, but once he entered the interrogation room, he calmed down, as if he was an entirely different person, and apparently spoke as little as possible. But
we'll check your belongings just in case. Please cooperate with the investigation.
And then he went crazy.
Don't touch that! You can take all the rest of the stuff, just not the phone. The event is going to be in soon.
Event? What are you talking about?
What are you guys going to do with my rank slips because of you guys screwing up? I'm risking my life here. Hey, confiscate that cell phone. It might have information related to the incidents. Yeah, Soda, give up the cell phone. I said no! Do you know how hard I worked to get myself to S rank? We're just going to check it. Bullcrap! I know you're just saying that and you're not planning on giving it back. Soda! No! Jeez! Soda! Soda, calm down. If you struggle anymore, whoa! Shut up! Everyone shut up! Holy crap. I'm God over there. The party won't start if there's not a God at the event. Whoa! Oh no, quick, hold him down. So he's already lost his memory, right? So he was just crazy from the beginning. Soda, we're arresting you on charges of property destruction and obstruction of justice. Are you kidding me? Don't screw with me. Give me the phone back. Give it back. Give it! Soda apparently overreacted to his cell phone getting confiscated and swung a chair around. Next to that, we were able to arrest him for a different crime and hold him, but once his phone was taken away, he became completely disheartened. Now he just repeats, "Give me my phone back," like he's a broken robot. So if the domiciliary search turns out something, we can't ask him about it. But even if they're a sacrificial pawn, they wouldn't just leave behind incriminating evidence. It was just like Yanagi said, we were obviously at a dead end right now. The simplest thing would be to wait until they caused their next incident. What? I involuntarily lost my temper for a moment in reaction to the casually tossed off suggestion. Even if we're trying to get to Adonis, to just allow another victim to die is... Calm down, idiot. Sasazuka nudged my head lightly. It's just a hypothetical. Besides, in all honesty, we don't really have any other moves to make. We have to toe the line with how forcefully we can pursue the past suspects. Okay, and actually I'm going to stop there, because can't go on any further. Must sleep. I think tomorrow night I'll stay up all night to get further. I'd like to do it tonight, but I stayed up too... It seems like I can stay up every third night, and it's not so bad. But whenever time I stay up at night, it's kind of a drag for 2 days, so... It seems like every third night is a good night to stay up. And it helps me get this done so much faster. And then, like I said, I will be free. Man, it's already 3 episodes into Sasazuka, and we've been doing just a lot of... Well, I guess it was the same in Yanagi's, right? We did a lot of just talking about the evidence and stuff. Which just isn't quite as much fun when you have to go through it that many times. That's why with some of these games, I'm like, I wish they would make more of the stuff common route, so you don't have to reread the same thing so many times. That's why I like a lot of the older games better, because they did have more common route material that you could skip when you were playing the individual routes, you know? Alright, well anyway, hope to see you for the next video, or in some of my other ones, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.